Today we are going to do a DIY with Cherry Wallis's Philosopher's Stone. This came in her first box of the Curation of Magical Curiosities, and I love how it looks as it is. I'm sure many people are just going to keep it like this, and they will be very happy with it. But when I read the story, the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone, I had a different image in my head, and I know Noble Collection has a few minor details that are different in their stone. So I'm just going to try and make this more what I saw in my mind when I read the book, and make it look more like it was just taken out of the earth, as opposed to a plain stone, which is also very beautiful in itself. But like I said, this is not what I envisioned when I read the book. It is close. It just needs a few tweaks here and there, which is what I'm going to try to do in this video. If you would like to see how this turns out, please keep watching. I scavenged through some dollar stores to try and find materials that I would like to use for my Philosopher's Stone. Some of the stuff I already had, like the wood stain, the brushes, the nails, but I had to buy the putty. I bought this glass dome. I already had this wooden disc. I'm not quite sure how much this would be in a store, but I'm sure it would be fairly inexpensive. And I also found these on clearance. They're actually fabric paint, but I thought that they could work in this scenario as well. They were 25 cents. So it should be a fairly inexpensive addition to this Philosopher's Stone right here. We are going to start off with sanding the wooden disc that I did find. So I'm going to take off the sticker here. All right, I got the take off finally. I had to use the Phillips flathead and sandpaper, but I got it off. This isn't gonna be the perfect Philosopher's Stone, but I mean, that's what makes it unique. All right, so now I'm going to put those 3 screws in the base. All right, I have my 3 nails in the base. I just have them lightly in. I know it's gonna leave 3 holes afterwards, but who's really gonna see the bottom? And I'm gonna stain it anyways. I feel like it'll look fine. All right, I have finished staining my wooden plate for the bottom. So I'm going to just move that to the side so it can dry. Put the lid back on my wood stain. Next we have, in my opinion, the more difficult part. So first, I'm going to take off this lid, take the sticker off of the bottom. I never understand why they put the sticker on the glass. Alright, I think most of the sticker is gone off the top. If there's any more left over, I will just get it later. But next I am going to start with the stone. I'm going to open my oven baked clay. I'm going to take off a little bit of the clay. Warm it up between my hands. It is a little chilly here, but I'm not going to really, I thought about looking up images from the movie, seeing if I would like that better, but you know, I really think I'm just going to go with my gut, and like I said, I'm trying to make this similar to what I envisioned when I was reading the story. So that is my main goal here. My main goal isn't to make it look like the movie, it's just to make it look more the way I thought it would. Now it does say to bake it at 275 for 15 minutes, so I have turned on my stove. Sorry, it's just my little stove, so if you hear the timer ticking away, sorry about that in the background. All right, let's see. I want to build it up. I'm just using the flathead of the screwdriver, it happened to be here, to kind of smooth everything out. We'll see if I want to build it up some more. All right, so here's the black. Let me see if I want to add some more. I do have to remember that I am going to have to lift it off of the stone. So I'm going to kind of wiggle it free a little. There we go. Just to make sure it's not on too hard. All right, so my next idea was to either try and use some of the brushes to create some texture or the sandpaper. So let's see how the brushes do. So I've just gone in with my paintbrush and I have dabbed around a little bit with it to kind of try and create more of a texture. Some of the paintbrush did end up coming off on to the clay itself, but I actually feel like it doesn't look too bad that way. All right, so next I'm going to take another nail. I'm going to just put in some holes in some areas just to give it more of a texture. All right, I'm going to go over it with my brush once more to get any of those finger marks from when I was peeling it off gone. All right, I loosened it. Here is going to be my rock that it is going to lay over in the oven. All right, so we're going to see, I'm going to pop it off here, lay it on here like that, and I'm going to put that in the oven and we'll see how it does. All right, so I have my brush here and we're just gonna kind of add it in along some of the edges. All right, I've added a little bit of the paint to the back here. I'm just gonna rotate it. I think I'm gonna add some of the bronze up here on the front. All right, I think I am done with my painting. So I'm gonna put the lids back on. And essentially, this is the end of our DIY. I'm just gonna put everything together, but first I have to wait for the puffy paint to dry, which actually can take a little while. So I guess I will see you again tomorrow. All right, so this is the finished piece with the clay on, the wood stain dried, and it's not perfect, but it is, I did make it with stuff from the dollar store. This is with the bowl on top. So it just kind of looks like more something that you would see in a museum. And I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Like I said, this is some really cheap supplies and I just wanted it to look kind of more like it did in my head when I was reading the book. So the black would be this other stone that it came from. And then we have some like bronze and gold colorings that would have, in my head, kind of been on the stone as well. All right, thank you for staying with me through this process, and I hope that it either just kept you entertained for a little bit or that it inspired you to maybe find some sort of red stone to make a philosopher's stone with as well.